This is a question for women that are in happy, healthy, stable relationships or marriages with men right now. Did you know right away that this was someone that you wanted to be with long term? Did it feel like a high? Was it more like a slow burn? Were you unsure for a long period of time? We talk a lot on this app about how men know right away if they want to date someone, but I'm really curious about women's perspective, especially in like the first 6 months of dating someone.
Hi people, welcome and welcome back. The video I've just watched introduces us in our today's conversation. How did you know that the person you are with, you'll get married to him? Did you see any signs? Or how did you feel when you first met him? Or when you dated him for the uh, for the for the last 6 months of your relationship? Did you know that this is the one? Or it was a slow burn? Anyway, a lot of people reacted to her video, so I'll just let the video play. Then at the end of the video, I'll leave my own comment. Please stick around.
This is a question for women that are in happy, healthy, stable relationships or marriages with men right now.
She wants to know if people in those relationships knew whether they wanted to be with their partner like immediately or if it was a slow burn, whether you felt like you were high and like really excited to be with them. So I've been married for almost a year and have been with my partner for 4 years. There we are. In the past, I used to think that when you found your person that it would be like fireworks, you'd have butterflies, you would just like be so moved and excited to be with them all the time. And when I met my now husband, I was like, things are peaceful. Like I enjoy spending time with him, all of that, but I was like, there's no like I'm not going crazy. Like I feel like I should be going crazy, like mad, like the whole concept of being madly in love. And then over time, I remember having a conversation with one of my friends and I was talking about that. I was like, I want like butterflies. I want to like feel a little crazy. And she was like, don't you think butterflies are just a bad gut feeling? And I was like, no, I've had butterflies before. And then I thought back to those relationships and I was like, those are terrible. That was actually some of the worst experiences I ever had. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized this whole concept that we see in the media of being like crazy, wild, passionate love. Maybe for a handful of people, that's true. I personally don't believe in that. Don't get me wrong, I eat it up on Bridgerton. In fact, it makes me run to my husband. I'm like, I need you to court me. But at the end of the day, the things that assure me that I made the right decision in my partner, or like my brothers were visiting last week, my husband took such good care of them, is like always thinking about like what would make them happy, what can we do, what activity. He's always so concerned about my health. When I'm really mad, he's so quick to say I'm sorry. But maybe from an outsider's perspective, I'm like, oh, he doesn't really get her flowers. They don't really go on that many dates. They don't do blah, blah, blah. But I'm so happy. I'm really happy. I'm content. I love my husband. He's a sweetie. We bicker about dumb stuff, but he's my best friend. He's one of the only people that actually makes me laugh. But in my opinion, when you find the right person for you, it should feel peaceful. And sometimes people confuse peaceful with boring and therefore not a good match, but I think that you should lean into that. I think the more like fiery and quick something is to start, the quicker it is to burn down. And I also think people who talk about their relationships on social media and like, I have the most perfect, beautiful husband, like he took me this and he bought me this, blah, blah, blah. Those relationships often end up hiding the fact that they're really unhappy inside. I'm not saying that's true for everyone. Obviously, I just told you that I love my husband dearly and he's wonderful, but it was to answer your question, not to tout what I have, right? We've all heard the things about the longer the Instagram caption, the weaker the relationship, you know what I mean? Again, it's not a universal truth perhaps, but it's often true. But if you feel safe with someone, if you feel respected by them, if you feel cared for, even if it's not the dramatic, flashy kind of cared for, and you feel at peace with them, to me, that speaks much more highly than
About how men know right away if they want to date someone, but I'm really curious about women's perspective.
You know when they say that a woman's intuition never lies? This is the moment as a girl to listen to your intuition. When I tell you I knew I was going to marry my husband within the first encounter that we ever had, solely because of the way that he challenged my perspective, I just knew. Like there was just a sense of like calmness and ease that I felt with him that I literally never felt with anyone else before. And when I tell you that the first 6 months, even if you don't feel that high right away in that moment, the first 6 months of that relationship, you are going to know if you want to marry that man or not. Personally, for me, that's how it was. But you're going to feel a sense of growth and confidence and empowerment that you've never felt before with any other man. It's different. Like everything flows the way it's supposed to flow. Everything's natural and you never question yourself. Like you never question the relationship. And still 6 years in, I literally still have butterflies.
This is a question for women that are in happy, healthy, stable relationships or marriages.
Don't mind me, I literally just woke up. But her question was, did you know right away with your partner as someone who's in a heterosexual, stable relationship? I've been with my fiance for about 3.5 years now. We got engaged last year and we're getting married next year. I don't know if I knew right away, but my answer would be I knew he was different. Even off our first date, the energy was just different. And the dates after that, I think by our third date, I felt like, whoa, he might be the one? Or at the very least, I know I want to be in a relationship with this man. This, of course, doesn't apply to every relationship, but I think a good factor is just if you feel that different. I kind of low-key knew with every partner I had in the past that they weren't going to be my long-term partner. It just didn't feel exactly right. But with my current fiance, I knew there was something there, and I pursued it.
This is a question for women that are in happy, healthy, stable relationships or marriages with men right now.
In that video, the creator asked women who are in healthy marriages or long, stable relationships if we knew right away that we were going to end up with our person for life or if it was a slow burn. And with my husband, I just knew. With my husband, I feel safe, loved, protected, reassured, and just constant reassurance and safety. I never felt that with any man that I had dated before him. Once I had that feeling of safety and reassurance and like obviously love and passion and all of that too, I just knew that we were going to be endgame. I so badly wish for all the women in my life and just all women in general to know and feel the safety and love that I feel with my husband. And it's so crazy because I really genuinely believed that I was never going to get married or have kids due to trauma that I went through with my parents. But with my husband, when we reconnected in our adult lives and we started dating, I just knew right away. I knew that we were endgame, even though he even told me when we started dating, he was like, if you feel like you need to experience other people, let me know so that we both can, go our separate ways and we'll find our way back to each other and try again. I told this man, I was like, we are like it. This is it for me. I don't care to experience other people. I've been there. I've done that. I'm traumatized. I'm good. Anyways, 4 years later, we've got a 2-year-old together and we're happily married. And I don't regret a single thing.
Relationships or marriages with men right now. Did you know right away that this was someone that you wanted to be with long term?
To answer her question, I have been with my husband in our relationship, we have been together for 10 years. And the thing is, I did not know when we met, or not even up until like high school, I felt like I was going to be with this man forever and marry him. But we started as friends. Like, it was great. He got to know me as a person. He got to see me grow up. I saw him grow up, etc. And it was until high school we were like, okay, we like each other, so why fucking not? But the thing is, since he was my high school sweetheart, obviously we're kids. We're growing up. We're changing. We're evolving. And we finally got to the point where we were like, okay, like, do you want to take this further? Like, are we just a 4-year thing, or is this more? And I think this is where a relationship really like took a turn, because we were friends for the longest time. We respected each other. And then finally, like, being around the environment we were in for such a long time, and then finally going off into our own little worlds, aka college, we realized that we wanted to be with one another. I can ramble on like about our story, but I think the thing that really hit home for us was that we saw our goals aligned, our visions aligned, everything aligned, and we wanted to become better people for ourselves, but also as a couple, as a unit, as partners. And that's when we decided, like, I love you, like, I want to be with you forever, like, I want to do this with you. And regardless of how long I've known him and everything, I truly think that us being friends first was literally the best thing that could have happened to us. And we're going to be 1 year married this month, so I'm so excited.
This is a question for women that are in happy, healthy, stable relationships or marriages with men right now.
No, my fiance and I did not say 3 words to each other the first like 4 or 5 times that we met. Very much a slow burn. But the biggest difference that I have noticed, we get married in 26 days, for reference. The biggest difference that I've noticed in my relationship with him is that it's easy. We very rarely argue, and when we do, we found that talking things to the death until neither one of us has anything else to say about the topic is what works best for us, because we both notice that when we let things fester, we get even more upset than we were initially. So talking things to the death is just the best thing that I think that we've ever come up with, but it's different for every relationship. But a relationship should not be hard. A relationship should be easy. It should feel like a safe space, and you should be excited to come home to that person because they're your home. I hope that helps.
Well, kindly share your experience in the comment section below. Some signs are always there, whether the relationship will last or not. Some men really know what they want at the very first of the date you meet with them, and you can feel the chemistry instantly. Some people it's slow burn because they are confused by being loved and respected they feel. The reason for that slow burn is because it takes some time when you are not used to that kind of health partnership. They feel so comfortable and safe, hence they think it's not a good sign since you have never experienced such. And such people are very afraid of getting hurt and have trouble letting go completely. Anyway, Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. See you in the next video and stay safe.